Hey, welcome back to the channel. We have yet another guitar. This is one that I purchased today along with another guitar from a gentleman. I call him Mr. X, and he has sold me so many guitars at such a reasonable price. He's just a wonderful guy. And anybody that's been on this channel, if you remember the 50s Vintera Telecaster, I ended up putting jumbo frets in it. He sold me that for 300 bucks. It's like a $1,200 guitar. Like things like that. The guy's just so cool about, giving deals on guitars. Anyway, this is it. EVH Wolfgang Special. This is a $1,200 guitar. And I got another guitar from him, and he just kind of like threw this in. This is the quilted one, and like he said, there's doesn't, of all the ones I've seen pictures of, this is like the least quilted, but it's in awesome, beautiful condition. It needs a little bit of tweaking. Got the roasted maple neck, 25.5-inch scale, Wolfgang pickups, jumbo frets, the truss rod down here. Everybody's seen the classic Van Halen shape. Speaking of Van Halen, I'm going to tell you a little story before we get into this guitar. A friend of mine, his name was Mark Weiss. He was from Ontario, Southern Ontario, Canada. And we used to hang out, and in Buffalo, New York, he's like, I want to go see this band, Van Halen. I'll get you a ticket. And I'm like, who? Van Halen? So he gets the tickets, and we go down to see this band. I don't know who they are. And when they did start playing, I recognized the songs from the radio. I didn't know who they were. It was their first tour. So I just thought I'd tell you that. It was pretty awesome. So back to this. It's got the drop D thing. It needs to be balanced a little bit. I might have to take the cover off the back and tighten or loosen the springs. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that now. And one thing I did notice is that, look at the action at the nut. It's pretty good for having a locking nut, and you can see there's a shim in there. Can you see the shim in there? I don't think it should be sticking out like that, but that's cool that it's not super high. These Floyd guitars are always ridiculously, well, I didn't say always, but all the ones I've dealt with, they're really, really high at the first fret. So I'll check this over, and I'm going to get the equilibrium of the Floyd right up the middle. It needs to be adjusted a little bit. I believe these are the original strings. That's what they look like to me. So let's get into it. So here's where it's at. So I got to do a little bit of playing around with these two claw screws, and we'll get this thing centered up. All right, let's plug her in. Let's see where we're at here. I didn't even know if the strings were stretched. It's hard to tell. Just give them all a little stretch. Are you with me? Stay with me, laddie. Yeah, we have to loosen gotta loosen those claws. One thing about Floyd Rose, trems. A lot of people, old guys like me, a lot of people don't know, scared of them or don't like them. All you need to do is put a little block in it so it only goes down, and that ends all your problems with them right there. Nothing will stay in tune like this. While I'm here, I'll just tighten these. Want to be careful. This guitar is like brand new. It kind of is brand new as far as I'm concerned. I think I gotta go some more. Yeah, once they're set up, they're awesome. That's what we gotta. You don't seem to want to move. Come on now. Yeah, it's starting to come up. I don't want to put you to sleep. All right, now it on the G maybe a tiny bit out of intonation. The rest of them are perfect. I'm going to lower the action a bit. The action definitely needs to go down. I'm going to hold it while I do it and look down on it. I am looking down upon you. I don't want to scratch it. I'd be scared. Okay, we have the Floyd right level, perfectly level. The intonation, I didn't have to adjust it, which is nice. It was right on. Might want to adjust the pickups a little bit, and I'll give you a shot of the action. Let me see if I can get this steady. It probably can go down a little bit, but we'll let the buyer do that, but I think it will go down a little bit. I'm going to check that truss rod, like check the neck for straightness. I know it's pretty straight, and then we'll just see how well the frets are put in. There is the tiniest bit of relief. I don't know if you can see that poking underneath any of the... Yeah, you can't really see it, but there's a tiny little bit of relief. Tiny. So the neck's pretty straight. Let's just see, get the fret rocker out and see how well the frets are seated. Okay. Just go up the center here. Oh, so far so good. A tiny bit there. A little bit there. Yeah, there's a few high frets. We're talking about like 1/1000th of an inch. There's another one. tighten this down. I think we got it, Houston. So we'll tighten these down. Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, it's a $1,200 guitar. I mean, like, I'm not happy that there are a few, but they're mild and there's not that many. Okay. How this drop D tuna, whatever it is, I think it's called a tuna. I don't know what it's called. Tuna fish. It's got a little Allen on the side, and I've got the right Allen. Right now it's for the E string, just E. I'm looking all over the floor, and then, there it is. That was scary. Let's try it. Try that D. Now we'll push it in. Hey, it works. Okay, don't ask me how to explain how it works. You'll have to look that up on your own. I'm going to show you how to take a little piece of wood and cure your floating Floyd Rose tremolo blues. So I've got this nice little square piece of wood. I'm going to mount it right in here. The screws are going to, see if I can show you this. I don't want to scratch this guitar. Get that off of there. The screws are going to go through about this much. So they're not going to go through too much. And if somebody wants to, they can just take them out. It's like non-evasive to the guitar, really. So we'll drill the 3 holes for it and get this thing in. All right, now I have the screws in there and they're just sticking out on the side just a tiny bit. So we'll have to position it. Now, you have to be careful because you don't want to be, I can see that the trem is moving. So I'm going to have it where I'm not touching the trem. I'm just going to set this in position and maybe tap, just get it started, lightly tap that and screw it in, because the trem is set perfect right now. It's right in the center. So that's important. I've done this many times because I like Floyd Roses, but I don't really need them floating, just going down. It takes 90% of the hassle out of it. And if you don't need to go up, this is a perfect way to end the misery of the Floyd. Easy to change strings too with this. Okay, my leg is not touching the Floyd. It's right in the middle. I'm going to carefully put this in here. Actually, I'm going to back off just a little bit. I'm going to let it lay flat and then screw it down in. Sure, it's right in the center. Oh, hold still. Hold still. Right about there. I had a cool Jackson not that long ago. A Fender Mexican one. That was good. The neck was a little wide for me. I really liked it. It was a cool guitar. It was this really neat desert sage green. There, I just finished screwing these in. And the tuning woes melt away. Note how I'm just using screws just big enough. You don't want to be putting some big screws in here coming out the other side of your pickup. Always use the right screwdriver. And if somebody wants to make it float, all they got to do is take out 3 little screws. Just starting to sink into the wood a little bit. That's it. Look at that. It's nice and flush. Wunderbar. Okay, now it only goes down. And I do like using a piece of wood. You could use a piece of metal or something, but you don't want to have metal on metal contact. That's why I use wood. It's nothing about some secret mojo tone thing. Gosh. Just my little crappy kind of like workbench amp. Okay, so the Floyd is all taken care of now. The drop D thing works fine now. So I'll get this cover back on. And we'll about wrap this up. That's about it. And I'm going to adjust the knobs carefully. So the little white, the dot and the little white line, when you're holding the guitar, you know you're at infinity. You can't go any higher. Like Nigel Tufnell. That's how I like them. How about some of this? That's it. She's done. Yeah, this one's not so quilt. It's not so quilt happy as the other ones. I mean, it's got some, but kind of subtle. Well, you know what? That is it for me. We got this thing playing good. We got it staying in tune. Now we got that trem stop in there. Makes all the difference. This is pretty good. The frets are installed pretty nice, I gotta say. There's some high frets, but there's high frets on, I think every stinking guitar's got some high frets. And these weren't high, like 1/1000th of an inch. Maybe one with 2/1000ths of an inch. But, I mean, all things being said, here's what that looks like. I'll show you what that looks like. And it's pretty wild. Okay, here's 2/1000ths of an inch. You see that? Okay, keep watching. It's going to disappear. It about disappears. So we're not talking about a lot. So, yeah, this one's pretty good. Well, I hope you like that quick little setup of this, what is it? It's a EVH Wolfgang Special. I think it's like $1,200. I don't know if it still is. I think this guitar's been out for 3-4 years at least. At least three years. And this one, there's no pick marks on it. It's really just pretty much like brand new. Anyway, that is it. That is it for today. And I think it's beer o'clock. That's what I think. I will see you next time. Come back. Come back. And if you learned something or if you enjoyed this, hit that like. Subscribe. It's free. Doesn't cost you nothing and it helps me out. I appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye. Are you still here? Oh, well, you might as well join me for this then. Okay, let's see here. Down here. Okay, number 203. EVH. Wolfgang Special. I almost forgot how to spell special. All right, there it is, number 203. Take care.